going into the downtown school. They merged all the country schools.
Sure.
And I'm going to junior high. In sixth grade, I was going to have a big class of all my own grades. And the band teacher I was going to have, and I had a friend from 4-H who had him a couple years before and really liked him. And he took 3 of the boys and went down to Texas to visit family in Texas. And I wanted to go to do that. So I wanted to impress him.
Okay.
So I was motivated to impress him.
We did start it here.
Yes.
All right, start.
But then
Did you go to
I-
Texas?
he married in between.
Oh, geez.
But in the summer, I prayed to the Lord to meet with all my problems. And then I immediately started. I got my first A, I ended up getting 3.
Yeah. See,
You know?
they say the Lord works in a mysterious ways, right?
Mhm. All right, ready to begin?
Yeah.
Call the meeting to order. Invocation. Dear Lord, we ask your blessings upon our meeting that we may serve your people in the best way possible. And we may honor you in all things. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mike Bennett,
Here,
Marvin Nash,
present.
Mark Grant, myself, here. Mike Somerville,
Here.
Todd Howland, not here. We need approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Approve the agenda as presented.
Second?
I second that.
All in favor of the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Past minutes. Have everybody had a chance to look at the past minutes?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Sir?
Right? Then I need a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Second motion.
Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment. We have a couple people in the audience. Do you have any comments you want to share? Okay. What was the public comment? Report on the Berry Junction Trail.
I've got that. So Heather usually goes to the Berry Junction Trail meetings, which I think are held like every 3 months. And so I'm the alternate in case she can't go. So this this month, June 11th, I went to the Berry Junction Trail meeting. It was held at the Laketon Township offices. Discussion items, they had a memorandum of understanding between Muskegon County Bicycling Coalition and the Department of Natural Resources, so that was discussed. It was also recommended, apparently there is not an agreement between the two groups, so they talked about that. And so I think that's in the formulation process.
What's the essence or purpose for this agreement?
Well, my understanding is, by the way, Dalton Township already has an agreement. I don't know if you got a chance to look at that, but anyway, I haven't either. But so my understanding, just from the gist of the meeting, is just what the DNR can do to help with the trail system. For instance, the representative from the DNR that was there told us all that, they have resources to come out, like when we had the windstorm and a lot of branches down and that, they have resources to come out and help clean that stuff up.
Okay.
And Justin was unaware of that, so next time, I'm sure he's gonna get a hold of him. I gave him the contact information for the lady that does that, so. Anyway, I think that's part of it. There may be some other things, just, but they have the ability to help us out, and, at least in that way. Any other questions on that particular item? Trail preservation was discussed just really vaguely. They had gotten some asphalt overlay estimates or I should say brochures. And so there was just a discussion whether that was really a good idea or maybe another resource might be better. I think going forward, they're going to talk to Muskegon Road Commission and try to get some ideas from them. So anyway, nothing was official, but we just need to maintain the trail system.
Who pays for something like that? Like, is it like our section we're responsible for? Is it like
Well, the apparently there's money. The Berry Junction Trail Committee has some funds.
Okay.
I don't know that they have all of it, but I think it'd be. I don't know. That's a good question. So I don't.
Or is there state funds for that? Or
And then there may be as well. It seems like there was a little bit of a discussion about legislative things and funding that way. DNR maintenance agreement, we talked about that a little bit, and that they recommended that. Dalton already has one of those. And then I've kind of jumped ahead, but anyway, DNR assistance for trail maintenance is available, debris clearing, trimming, etc. So it was just probably an hour meeting. I didn't say a lot because I have no idea, but it was kind of educational. Oh, I will add that they did give us some signs to put up on the trail, basically in regards to e-bikes. Did you get any of those up?
Not yet.
Okay.
what's the stance?
what is,
So-
what is
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna
All
get
right,
one.
well, it's really quite simple.
Okay.
There's 3 different categories for e-bikes, and you may know this or you may not. There's I think it was A, B, C, right? Was it A, B, C?
Class 1, 2, and 3. I
Oh,
think.
1, 2, and 3,
Yeah.
all right.
You're on. Okay.
Now, I may say this in the wrong order, but let's just go with it. Class 1 would be pedal assist.
Okay.
So to make it go, you have to be pedaling.
Yeah.
Right.
That is allowed on the trail system.
Okay.
No problems. And at maximum speed, 20 miles an hour. This number 2 class is a pedal / accelerator, again, limited to 20 miles per hour. You have to have a permit to ride the trail with that type of bike. So if you have a disability, I imagine that if you had a difficult time walking, something like that, that would be allowed. Class 3s are not allowed at all. Class 3s are made up of bikes that'll go nearly 30 miles per hour. And I can't remember what the rest of that was, but anyway, class 3 is not allowed. So 1 and 2s are allowed. 1's is for sure, no problems. 2s, you have to have a permit. And the DNR is the one who issues the permits.
And the signs they give me have a QR code on them.
Yep,
that
you
we
can
believe
scan
we
that.
can Scan that QR code.
Gives you more information. Oh,
Okay.
I'll get to
I believe, I'm not positive yet.
Did they mention anything about scooters, electric scooters? 'Cause
They
what
didn't.
category would that fit
We
in?
didn't talk about that. So my recommendation would be if you have questions about what is allowed and what's not allowed, like scooters, call DNR and ask them.
And that's all like
They do their own enforcement, is that correct?
Well, that was discussed as well, and they just, I don't think there's an officer assigned to the bike path.
Yeah.
So, but if you got caught, that could be pricey. So, yeah, I imagine what would create that or generate a complaint, it would be a complaint from a citizen or a fellow biker, that's on there. My father-in-law rides there tons and tons, and so there was they gave us a little handout that had a
King Bicycle Coalition.
it was that you could fill out a survey about the bike trail. And so I've got that at home. I can bring that next time if anybody's interested. I don't ride the trail, So, I mean, I have, but I don't currently on a regular basis. But if you ride the trail and you see problems, they do have a survey that you can fill out. Probably look it up on the DNR website. Anyway, but scooters, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd refer to the DNR.
Okay.
Anyway, other questions? Yeah, it was educational. I think it's neat that they, they want to maintain it, keep it good.
That's
Absolutely.
important.
So, yeah, great research.
Thank you.
All right.
A maintenance report.
So, at Beagle Sports Park, we got a new climbing dome that has been installed. The fence around the outhouse has new wood and it's already been stained. The soffit on the pavilion has been mended as well as the siding. Heather ball post has been put in and installed near the pavilion. Went in that berm on the east side of the property, spread some flower seeds in hopes that they'll make it look better. It looks terrible at the moment, but within time, hopefully this thing works well.
What kind of seeds are those?
Some native wildflower that are in Michigan area. Yep, give it time. I'm
Yeah.
excited for this to actually work. Sorry, I lost my spot here. A fence has been put up in the middle of the parking lot, and the whole idea with that is like a T-post and a rope to try to keep people from doing donuts. It worked to a certain extent, then they found out that you can do tiger donuts, so.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's fun. I feel like there's something else since I made this, but
It's like a bigger island in there. Help a little or not?
maybe speed bump, something I thought about.
And speed bumps.
I know, right?
They actually become a challenge.
Yeah.
They do.
At Padley Park, been keeping it maintained. Consumers came through and did their maintenance that you may have seen around town. Underneath power lines, turns out that opened up a good chunk in the woods there. That was where some of those walking trails were.
Yeah, I don't like that, but well.
Yep. So we're actually gonna talk about that here in a little bit. Catalpa Park, been keeping it maintained. Did remove the posted sign on the basketball court as well as started to mend the fence around the basketball court and trim some trees. Duffield, been keeping it maintained. The equestrian park, added some trail markers throughout the trail system and working on getting a map made. I do have one section of the trail that I still need to add more markers to. I ran out of them while I was doing it. Bike path, we've been keeping it maintained, had some graffiti removed from the bench. Boat launches, Mill Lake Boat Launch had some washout in it. And I installed a test section of some GeoWeb that we talked about for Catalpa Park. And I'm seeing how it holds up so far. It's done pretty well. Started washout just past where I had put it in.
Just past one.
Just past where I installed GeoWeb. So right at the end of it, just after that, started washout a little bit.
Okay.
So it's doing its job, it just found a new place.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that GeoWeb does do what it's supposed to, so it's pretty cool. Just need to actually do the whole thing at some point. And that's it that I have written down for the maintenance report. I was asked a couple times about the Christmas tree on M120. I want to give you guys an update on that too. We are getting a hold of Jelinek and looking to buy a new tree, but they're gonna warranty the work for it. Being that when we bought the Christmas tree, they had like a warranty within it. Where we have to buy it, if it were to go bad, we'll buy the Christmas tree, but they'll install for free.
So we have to pay for another tree.
Yeah, so we're looking in that direction now, unfortunately. Went up there with buckets of water, 2 5-gallon buckets, once or twice a week, dumping down the thing, trying to keep it alive. And that's not working out.
Just been big.
Yep.
You don't have any way of getting water there, huh?
No, and I don't think that was so much the issue. I just think that didn't take, I don't know why. It should have when we put in last fall.
So they'll put a new one in this fall?
I don't know the dates yet.
Okay.
Very early in discussing.
Okay.
It, like, we haven't even talked to the board about it yet.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yep, but that's kind of a little update I've gotten that.
Do you have questions on the maintenance report?
I will make you aware from our last township meeting of the equestrian park. Apparently, unbeknownst to us, a piece of property dead center in the equestrian park. Or do you have an update?
Nope, but good call.
It came up for sale. So that concerned us a little bit. So the decision last meeting was that we gave Heather a budget limit to purchase that property. Asking price was 10 grand, right?
Yep.
And so hopefully we can get it for less than that, but we thought that was really kind of critical that we get that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So anyway, just for your awareness, that happened and I think we're resolving it. But yeah, it was interesting. Little tidbit, so.
I have a question regarding the Tulpa Park. Have you done any work with the county with regard to dealing with the drainage?
We have talked with them and they are still working on getting the quote together for doing the road work. Because they're gonna go do a road improvement there, and while they're doing that, they're gonna put in a ditch for it.
Okay.
So, still waiting on that.
So will that affect the parking area? Do we need to move the parking area?
Nope. I had asked about moving it and they said that they can put in a ditch and that will eliminate the whole problem that we have. Yeah, not right.
That's good.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
Okay. Any other comments on the report, the maintenance report? Okay, we will move on. Now it's discussion items. Swing update.
So I just want to touch base because I know during the last meeting, we had approved the swing for ADA swing, as well as the swing sets. When I first brought this to the board, Parks and Rec board last meeting, I did a little bit of research and after we had this meeting, I discovered that it was a little more expensive than I initially thought. But with that being said, we did approve a 3-bay, so 6-seat swing set with a ADA seat. And it's ordered, that does not include installation, and I'll be doing the installation myself. Well, we will be, but pretty excited for it.
Yeah. And was that able to be under the $5,000? That one?
No, that was, I think, 6,300 purchase price of it. And that's, like I said, without
Yeah.
installation, but
If we did it,
at least.
Yeah. And then we were at 5,500 that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was not the, well, it was one of the cheaper options that we chose. There were some more expensive ones, but we thought that was a good
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah. That'll go. Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Pretty amazed how expensive they were.
Yeah.
Looking into it more. But got that going and pretty excited to see where it goes.
So when do you think when will it arrive in
We've got
installation?
about 10-week wait time for
Okay.
shipment.
All right.
You ordered it when?
Right after the last meeting, so earlier this month.
10 weeks as well.
In April. Our last meeting was in April.
No, June. The last board meeting.
Board meeting, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we approved it there.
Yeah. So maybe by Labor Day-ish.
Is that
Labor Day-ish?
maybe?
Entice we.
Yeah.
Well, like I said.
Yeah, I was thinking right around. It can fall, it'd be probably the latest.
Yeah, next item is community center now. Where is it? Is the community center at Beagle Field? Where is that?
We don't have a community center. This is something that we had talked about during the board of trustees.
Okay,
Actually, Mike is the one that had brought it up and this is, we've got a piece of property, if you'd like, you could talk about.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So we've had multiple people in the community at our board meetings ask about a community center. They want a community center. But the big problem is cost, of course. So it sparked in my mind, especially after this last election for the museum that failed, which I felt really bad about. And maybe it'll come back and we can get it to go. But anyway, I thought about that and I thought, you know what? What do we need to do to get this community center on the ballot and go from there? So I talked to Heather, and Heather said, you know, the first thing we should do is secure some property. So this piece of property is out on M120. Right across the street from that property is a greenhouse.
Oh, I
If
know
you
it's
don't-
now, yeah.
And I don't necessarily know where it's at, but I have zoomed in.
Twin Lake Greenhouse?
Yeah,
Yes, right across the street.
right, okay.
It's almost 20 acres. So in our last meeting, correct me if I'm wrong, Justin, we decided to put that property on hold for a future community center. So that gives us the land. Now we need to decide where we're going with it, get enough people interested, probably a petition, signing. And I foresee getting on the ballot, and maybe a year from now, we're on our way, you know, but we'll just have to see.
What particular uses are you planning on happening at this community? center?
Well, the community members would like to see it be used for maybe renting it out for wedding events, things of that nature. The biggest thing that they want to see is that we have somewhere where the community can gather. They would love to move the elections there, out of the firehouse.
Would they put both precincts out of that, in there?
Oh, yeah, we're planning, well, the initial thoughts, there's been no firm plans, but it would be a big building, a good sized building. With a kitchen, I think is thoughts, you know, of course, these are early thoughts, but a kitchen, so you could have nice gatherings and
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, if you're wanting to rent it out for wedding venues, you need a kitchen.
Right. So, yeah, and like I said, 20 acres is huge, so that would give us plenty of room. But yeah, so we're in the early stages. But I thought, well, Justin, I believe, thought that it would be really good for this board to be aware of it.
Just a thought to throw out there is if you make the kitchen a commercial kitchen, then perhaps you might be able to rent out usage of the commercial kitchen for small businesses, you know, home businesses that want to do bakery or canning type stuff or
Yeah.
and all, and that would be a way of providing revenue to support building.
Yep, I agree. I think, I think one of the things that is an idea is that it would be a place for emergency refuge in the event of emergency. So I think we would want to go, and again, this is early stuff, but a generator system that would run it so that it could stand alone that way. But anyway, it's in my mind, it's a big, I can't think of the word. Anyway, a big idea that I think we could see the reality of.
Well, people can see it too, right?
Ambitious.
Yeah, you can see it. I mean, yeah, baby showers and what, like, I think of the building that Park Meadows, the little trailer park there. You know, it's $100 or so, you know, maybe it's a little bit more, but it's a place to gather. They're responsible for all the cleaning and all of that stuff. Nice.
So anyway,
Yeah,
that's
cool.
moving forward.
I think it's a great idea because when we look at the township here, most of the time it's governmental functions. When you talk about community, it takes on a different appeal. As the township grows, it becomes another way of bringing people together.
Yes.
They are non-political
Yeah.
or issue bearing. Yeah, so it has some positive aspects to it.
Yep.
So it's really about selling the idea to the public.
Yeah.
Right.
This is going to be beneficial to them, so that's a lot of thought have to go into that process. Put it on the ballot.
I like it.
Yeah.
Hope it works.
And there's been quite a few people that brought it up to us, it's something that we'd really like to say.
Oh, yeah, I'd say like every other meeting, somebody brings it up. What about a community center? And it's like, okay,
Are there any other townships that have a community center? Or would it be the first?
There are.
we would not, I don't think. There are others. Don't ask me where, but.
Yeah, but if there are, good to explore. What can we learn from that?
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
to make it even better
Right.
with our concept. Something to think about.
Other things would be is if you're going to be using it for venues, you're gonna have to make sure you have adequate parking.
20 acres, that's.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
But that's
when you get the site and you know, building in there and then the amenities around the building, it takes.
Parking has to match the site.
Yes.
Yes, you're right,
Makes sense.
right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Okay. Any more comments on community center? Okay, moving on. Hadley parking. I think you covered that in your report, but maybe you got something more to add to it?
Yeah, didn't really. So, like I said, they had came through and clear cut some trees for the consumers, power lines. And that opened up a big old wind farm, basically. And I was thinking that might end up being a decent parking area. And we could cut in where the existing parking lot. I put a map up here in front of you guys. So I didn't add it in the packet. This came through today. That's kind of like a rough draft drawing that I sent to the engineer with the road. Road commission. So kind of show them possible idea and get some feedback from him. And he didn't like how we have that curve right there. So that's definitely something that we need to be aware of with people crossing the road. So make sure that they have clear line of sight. And then where it says that here, people are parking here when it gets busy, and that fat line on the left. He said that he'd like to see some no parking signs put there because people are parking there when it gets busy. So there's a need for it. And then I was thinking about this area that's got the lines through it. That's where there's some smaller trees currently. I don't think it'd be reasonably terrible to take them out to about where that power line currently is cut and make that area parking lot extended, basically.
Is there any reason you didn't extend those lines a little bit further? Take more of the width of the parking lot, you know, I could see saving the trees, but then
Right.
could you go over to the further there, almost to the 33-foot easement? In fact, what is the easement something that we can use? 'Cause maybe that would be the best place to put.
Okay, saying further towards the road.
No. Further away from the curb.
Okay.
There's a 33-foot easement. I don't know what that easement is. But if you made that your drive and your pedestrian crossing spot.
Right.
That would help with the getting it away from the curves. So the road commissioner would be happy with it.
Right. Yep. Good.
Well, it
Again, this was all like just a
Yeah.
possible sketch.
I understand.
Yep.
would their easement need clearing if you're gonna put a park there?
Yes. Yeah, because we have the current parking lot, then just south of that would solid trees as well as to the left.
So question would be, how many cars would you anticipate accommodating per park?
I don't even know yet.
Okay. I know some early stages.
Yep. I've heard that it's just absolutely packed throughout there right
Oh,
now.
really?
So just trying to wrap my head around different ways to make
More
more
space.
parking
Yeah.
available there.
Would it be possible to get just simply a preliminary, survey of the area there? So that we got an actual map that, and dimensions and locations of everything in there? So that, it would be easier to, it'd be, the initial planning map.
Sorry if I'm mistaken.
Need a scale and so on.
Right. Very well, Christian.
Okay, do we need any action from our part on that?
I don't think so.
You have to probably go to the board to get approval for hiring someone to make that map.
I don't even know the right steps yet. Possibly. But I just wanted to basically talk with you guys and let you know kind of what the thought that I had here.
Mm-hmm.
And I will talk to everybody in the office here and we get to the point about bringing the board right there.
Okay.
Keep moving forward.
Well, just I like to offer possibly that if you would just do a little bit more research, come back to this board and let us give you approval to go forward to township board with some type of proposal. That give you all the necessary support you need to move to that level.
Right.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
But I think I'd like to go out there and look at that property again with you and see what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's not a bad way to do it, to go through, get some more research on this to bring to the board, because that's kind of what this board is for. And it's not like that's gonna be something that we're doing this season. So it's definitely a next season or further out thing.
Nice. I don't know if we could even get an estimate of cost for budget purposes. I don't know if that's possible. Be nice.
I'd go measure out possible size of it and see how much it'd be to clear out the trees as we don't lie down.
So by the next meeting we have, hopefully you'll have a little bit more information for us, with your progress.
Right.
And maybe we could act on some of that,
Right.
move the ball forward. That's a good idea.
Anybody else have anything on it? Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was asking if anybody else had anything else that they want to add to it.
Okay, that's the same, my same question. All right, moving on. Next, upcoming community engagement open house. That's the thing coming up Saturday?
No, so this is Steve, the zoning administrator. He's working with the he's working with one of his boards on making a master plan for the Lakewood Additions sub area plan. And we had went through, this is the area kind of, if you look through your packet, you have a few different pictures of the areas. One of them's picked one here.
Oh, yeah, yes.
So this is kind of like the Lakewood Additions, is what it's known as. And there is some properties like the wetland area that I had taken a couple of feet out to. And if you guys mind go, please let me know. But there's also pictures throughout here. It's an area that's got a lot of 2 tracks. Some of it unfortunately does get dumping. But it gets used quite a bit from even dirt bikes, mopeds, pedal bikes, people go out walking. So we're trying to figure out what to do in the area. Obviously also, we need more houses built, so that's part of it. But what could we do in a recreation standpoint too? So he's having a meeting on the 7th. Yes, July 7th. To kind of have an open house and get community input. So we might invite you guys and the community out to it. And tell us what you think, basically.
Has he sent this to the village of Liquid Front?
So
Has he sent this invitation also to the village of Liquid Front?
actually not know.
Important because, one of the things that's happening right now with the village is our parks area are being utilized by the surrounding homes that aren't in our community. But our taxes maintain it, you know, and so I think it'd be good to try to work together on this
Right?
development.
I mean, it's right there outside Lakewood Club. So that makes sense.
Any other comments regarding the open house? Moving on, Big Eagle Sports Park Community Day, that's the one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is coming up this Saturday, and we're gonna have some pop and hot dogs for lunch, and basically spend some time painting. We've got a lot of chain link fence that is rusty looking, so we're gonna paint that up. Cheaper than replacing up chain link fence, as well as paint some of the posts, possibly get dug out. Just a lot of little projects that on the list, but other things have taken place of it. So if you have a chance, it'll be from 10 to 2, and gonna help make improvement out there.
Got contingencies if it rains?
Not yet. Don't make it rain.
Don't make it rain.
Okay.
Where else has this been shared? Has this been on like the Facebook page?
Yep, it's on Facebook page, been putting it through the community pages too. And got it hung up.
I'll try to get the Reese Puffer baseball page to share it too. They use it for sure, so it's gonna get a little bit there.
We also have it posted at Beagle Field itself too.
Are you gonna be giving directions to teams what to do and how
That's
to
what I'm told.
do? Fantastic.
So, it'll be good.
Yeah, it will.
Okay, now, public comments. Comments?
Any comments?
Well, welcome here.
Yeah,
You here to learn something?
yeah.
You're here to see what your dad actually do when he comes to these meetings, right?
Of course.
Of course.
I learned my leadership skills from the class.
There's, she wants something, yeah.
Guys are going somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, next meeting, do we have anything for next meeting? Any date? What's the next date?
It's out there, but I don't know the date off the top of my head. Posted.
It's in our phones.
September 22nd.
Hey, John.
Okay.
Make sure I'm right.
Oh, yeah. I got you.
September 22nd, Monday, 34th.
It's
Monday.
6 o'clock.
6 p.m. So I think next time we talked about, you would have a little more information on the Hadley Park. Thank you. Awesome.
Suggestion on your agenda would be to put the meeting time. I just went back to the, because I had the previous minutes that said we met at 6, so I confirmed it's 6, so.
Thank you. Good call and good catch. I don't know why I missed that. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I perfectly understand.
No, that's a good catch.
So, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Support.
Yeah. Motion to adjourn, yeah.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.
Thank you, sir. That's
Thank you.
6:40.
Time is the military time, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be,
Yeah.
Different. Plus, I matured.
My mom was in the Air Force, well, I think she taught me.
Prayer made me different.
Too.
Plus maturity. Because I was 12 years old, going into 13.